Hello, lovelies. Today I had an opportunity to go out and have coffee with a dear friend of mine, and she gave me little gifts. And I wanted to show them off, first of all, but also I want to shout out to Angela and say thank you so much for these and for thinking of me. Um, she gave me these. Um, it's a lip balm and a salve, and it is hemp and coconut oil, beeswax, and herbs, magic herbs. So these are lovely. And then this, um, we used to call these medicine balls, but I'm not, this might be a fairy habitat. I don't know if you can see there's a leaf of sage in it, silver sage, and some small dried flowers. And then there's some stones at the bottom, and it's on a wooden base, and some dried what is that? Not moss. Mm, yeah, some dried greens on top. Anyway, so there's that. And then this is so there's salt in the bottom, and there are, I'm not sure if those are wood pieces or what that is, but it looks like there's some rosemary and there's some money rice and there's a little bit um so the green at the top here is money rice. And obviously, this is a blessing, and then a little charm, a little pentagram moon charm. So, anyway, I had a great time going for coffee and just sitting and chatting and spending some time with some friends. And that was cool. I don't get to do that as often as I'd love to. All right, I am going to do a reading on, so I'm kind of going through um, the people in 45's administration. And I don't know if you've picked up on this or not, and I haven't really said a lot about it, but when I read, I like to look at the hidden part. So, for example, when the other day I did the Margarita visit to the White House, his stated purpose for going to the White House was that he wanted to talk to Trump about the United States remaining in NATO. Now, that's the stated purpose, but my reading, thinking back on it after, was the hidden part of the visit. And it's this part I have talked about, like 45 in his first inhabitancy. Yes, I just made up that word. Um, his first time squatting in the White House, he talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And all of that talk and drama was about creating drama so that people were looking over here and all upset about what he's doing over here. Oh my God, over here. And then down here is what he was really doing. This is the stuff he didn't want anybody to see. And he's already done that in this administration, this squatting session. Sorry, I just got to get that out. He did that with the tariffs, which he announced on the day the Canadian report came out about election interference. And the original version of that report was supposed to name names, and the actual report that came out did not name names, which I find very interesting. And so he started talking about all these tariffs on that day, and that was the news stream. That's all people talked about were the tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. Nobody really paid close attention, or I shouldn't say nobody, but not many people paid close attention. And certainly the news channels did not cover that report from Canada. There is a second part to that report, and I don't believe it has been released yet. Um, and the name It's called The Person Who had had led the group, I guess, if you will. I'm not sure I'm saying that real well. But anyway, the person whose name is on that report is Homan, Homan. No relationship to our borders are. Um, and or at least none that I know of. They certainly don't behave a lot alike, which, maybe there is a blood relationship. Don't we all have that in our family? Um, anyway, so look for that. It's available. You can get it. I'm pretty sure you can get that online. So if you're interested, go check that out. And if I think about it and remember to do it, not if I think about it, if I remember, I'll put a link to it um, in the more section below. Uh, anyway, so all right. So what I want to look at today, I think the person I'm going to pick on next is JD Vance. And I like also including their partners. So I'm also going to look at Usha. My spidey sense is that she's shocked and disgusted by what JD signed on for. I think they got far more than they bargained to get into. Anyway, so I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to set out my cards and I'll be right back. Okay, so as I shuffled, I asked the cards what we need to know about JD Vance as the vice president. And we getting the answer? Um, let's start here in the center as usual. Uh, I've said this in numerous other videos, but I want to reiterate it again. I do modified Celtic cross. Center portion, normal Celtic cross, and then the one line down is also a normal. Instead of, a lot of people will lay the cards out bottom to top. I lay them out top to bottom. Same meaning. The only difference is the order that I lay them down in and how I read them. The other thing, though, that's more important, I'm not sure I can. Oh, I have 3 rows here. And this first row is 0 to 3 months. Second row is 3 to 6 months. Third row is 6 to 12 months. So, all right, let's get into this. JD as the vice president, what is his energy and what do we need to know? First of all, at the heart of everything is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is a person who is extremely moody. Um, and willing to play the game to get where he wants to go. Everything he does is about materialism, and he is, mm, oh, I shouldn't say those words, but I really, really want to say those words. He's really petty. Okay, that's the nice way of saying what I wanted to say. I have an itch behind my ear. I'll let you figure out what I meant by that. He is crushed by death. Change, big change. Always death card. It's in every reading I have about 45, and the people in his circle, I see the death card. ETTD, And it is certainly a possibility that JD is um, that. So I see two possibilities here. One is that his life really is in jeopardy because 45 didn't want him. And I probably need to not use his name, so I'm gonna go with what others have called him, and that is Junior Varsity. Um, so we'll go with that. Anyway, so there's a very distinct possibility, a very real possibility that there's a price on his head because 45, the felon, did not want him and does not trust him and doesn't like him. But then, is there anybody that 45 really trusts? He buys and sells and is bought and sold. So to him, it's all about that. Okay. At the base of the reading is the Knight of Swords. No, for him, it is about he's not only is he moody, he also is rather dishonest. In the upright position, the Knight of Swords is a card of a fighter. And in the reverse position, it's the card of somebody who's willing to fight, but only for themselves. And they will do whatever dirty act it takes to get ahead. And if that includes shanking you in the back when you're at your most vulnerable position, okay. So that is at the base of the reading. Now, this could be junior varsity and it could be the felon. Either one. I need to come back to the death card here. The other op the other option that occurs to me is that when junior varsity is done as the felon's vice president, if he does not move up into the presidency position, because who knows how long 45 is going to hang out, um, he has no future career because he's tainted by 45. And I want you to think about this from the perspective of all the people that were in 45's originals and around him doing work, all of them. It's like they were sprayed by a skunk. Nobody wants to be near them. Nobody wants to touch them with a 10-foot pole. Anyway, moving on. So either junior varsity is himself very materialistic and self-centered in the way he fights, or this is the energy of the felon as part of the base. Either one or both could be true. Energy passing away is the Nine of Swords in reverse. In the upright, obviously, this is stress and anxiety, staying up all night because of stress and anxiety. I know nothing about stress and anxiety and being awake half the night. The first time 45 was in office, I leaned in really hard and I kept track of everything. And so there's a lot of, if any of you are old enough to remember Cheers, the TV show, the the postman, Cliff Clavin, had a ton of useless knowledge floating around in his brain at all given times. And that's how I feel. I have a bunch. a bunch of knowledge floating around in my brain. About 45. And to say that I had a lot of anxiety because of it is an understatement. This time around, I'm going to set that down for just a moment. This time around, I am, I don't know how to describe this other than saying I feel like I'm taking a very distant view of it. And so what that means, it's like here's all the stuff going on, and it's all this little all these tornadoes just swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling, and none of them ever seem to connect and swirl into each other to make a hurricane. But it's all these little tornadoes, and these are all of his ideas of how to be chaotic and cause distress. And I'm viewing it all from way up here instead of right here in the midst of it. I don't know why. I don't know how I came to feel that way, whether it's just my own personal spiritual growth or if just my body knows that I can't handle that kind of anxiety again. Um, and it's self-preservation. That's certainly a possibility. But do you know this? I am very empathic. And so when I say I feel like something big is coming, which I said in a couple of the videos that came out this week, I have to be very frank and say that I was very surprised nothing happened yesterday. Today, by the way, is Saturday, March 15th. And the Veterans March on Washington and around the country was yesterday, the 14th, and they had to sign the budget. I really felt like something drastic was going to happen yesterday. And then I woke up today and it had not is was very surprising. There's still that possibility in today's energy, and today is not done by any means. So, but yesterday was really when I felt like the possibility was very strong. All right, so the Nine of Swords in reverse. Let me get back into this. Um, I feel like JD has been very anxious about 45. Junior varsity has been very anxious about 45. And I feel like he's been forced to be patient. And he doesn't like that. Also, I really feel like he hates the felon. It's mutual. All right. At the top of the reading is the Nine of Wands. He went into battle and he survived. He's a scrapper. He's a fighter. Unethical as that may be. Knight of Swords at the base of the reading. And yet, he has the Seven of Wands coming for him in the near future, which are more obstacles, more delays. Uh, get the very strong feeling somebody is going to clip his wings. And so his ability to fight will be gone. I don't know what that specifically is going to look like, but that might be another reading in a few weeks, just to see what transpires between now and then. But I feel like he's going to hit roadblock after roadblock, and his ability to fight those off are just going to be like, here's your detour. See you bye. Um, we'll see. All right, I'm going to scoot those over, remove the loose hair, my blouse, and let me bring over my 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 12. All right, at the top of the reading, 2 of Wands in the upright position. This is a very self-satisfied individual. He's got the world in his hands. I got the whole world in his hands. Yeah, guess what? All gone. When you flip that upside down, it's not such a secure base. You thought you had it, and lo and behold, it has slipped away. Bye-bye. Um, as others see him, King of Wands, this is a crafty individual who tends to be in a leadership position, and yet crafty, I think, is the understatement here. Um, they are usually seen as a visionary. And visionary is often given positive qualities, connotations. I don't feel like that is due. That's right in this reading. Hopes and fears for the future is the star in reverse. This is that his goals, not just his goals, his financier's goals, they're not going to happen. That is like it's becoming far more real now for him because the felon keeps saying they rigged the election. He's feeling that insecurity now. He's feeling very off base, as he probably should. And the 0 to 3 month outcome is the 5 of Wands in reverse. And here again is that trickery energy. It's the dishonesty, it's the fight dirty. That's what that energy is for me. All right. So that is 0 to 3 months. 3 to 6 months, we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. He is very worried about his stability, as he should be. In the upright position, this card means health and financial balance and secure. And in the reverse, like there's no that isn't that sense of security or sense of financial or health wealth is gone. Not necessarily gone, but it feels like could very easily be taken away. as others see him as the Queen of Wands in reverse. And I do want to say, whenever you see a card that has a gender associated with it, like the Queen of Wands or the King of Wands, we all have male and female energy. And so I don't care if it says the king and and I'm reading for a woman, that energy is associated with her. Um, and so it's to me, the fact that this says Queen of Wands here is irrelevant. It is the Queen of Wands in reverse, and it's the attributes that go with that. And this in this particular one, as we've seen from him, he is very, very aggressive, and he has no issues being deceitful and deceptive. He's going to do whatever he needs to do to accomplish the goals that have been set out for him. The ones that he worried about all night, the ones that kept him awake with anxiety, the ones that he's not very patient waiting for. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Hopes and fears of the future is the Knight of Cups in reverse. And this is he hopes his lies are not found out. He hopes he can keep his game covered up. My spirit guides are saying, not going to happen, not going to happen, not going to happen. You got to tell him not going to happen. All right, not going to happen. My spirit guides want you to know it's all coming out. All right, I said it. You're welcome. Um, 3 to 6 month outcome is the Hanged Man in reverse. And this is in the upright position. The Hanged Man is somebody who's just on pause, taking a break, introspection, just that looking within themselves to figure out where they're going. And this card feels to me like this card feels to me like it is the tree that stops the car that had all gas, no brakes. A find out stage. Wow, I'm rocking. Whoo, lots of downloads coming in. Okay. Y'all get to see way more of me than sometimes I should probably share. Moving on. All right. So at the top of the 6 to 12 month row is the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune keeps turning. Something new is going to come along every single day. You wake up, something new is going to happen that day. You have a purpose to provide the world. You have something more to do, to give, to learn. You're here for a reason. The Wheel of Fortune keeps on turning. So something new keeps happening. Something new is going to happen for him. He's here to either learn or teach or both. I don't love this card for him. Whatever happens to him in the next 6 to 12 months is a fated thing. And I don't believe it's going to be. I don't wish violence or DEATH on people. No, I will say that there is a moment where I've been happy somebody did pass in my personal life. I may have danced in the kitchen when that happened because that particular person was a narcissist. Nothing like the felon is. Comparatively, my narcissist was very mild. Um, but a narcissist nonetheless. I feel like this Wheel of Fortune card, that his fate, that has to do with that. Um, don't have a good feeling about that. Next, how others view him. They view him as the emperor upright. And it is just that he wants to carry on with the authoritarian mindset. If he ever manages to level up, if you will, into the P position as opposed to the VP position, not going to be any better than what we've got. His hopes and fears is the Sun card, best card in the deck. His fear is that the truth comes out. Our hope is that the truth comes out. And then the outcome, the final outcome in 6 to 12 months is the Ten of Swords. And those 10 swords are sticking out of the back of the body that's laying there. Um, I don't know whether this will actually be a physical ending or if this will be a metaphorical ending, but either way, there is a distinct off ramp for him at the end of 12 months or before. So, all right. So that is junior varsity as the VP. I want to also do a reading on junior varsity and Usha together as a couple. And I want to do a reading on Usha as an individual. So I'm going to magically pause and reset my cards. I'll be right back. Hey, I have magically shuffled off screen, off camera. I am using a brand new deck to me, brand new, and it was brand new when I bought it. Yep, yep. It is called the Thelemic. I'm not sure how to say that. Thelemic Wisdom Tarot. And the Thelemic Wisdom Tarot blends the Thoth and Rider-Waite decks with Thelema. Perfect for beginners and advanced readers. It uses color-coded keywords. Black is general, red equals love, green equals money, and reversed meanings to make it easy to understand and memorize the card's meanings. This deck is not just a tool, but a gateway to deeper esoteric understanding and personal growth. There you go. This is my first time using these, so we'll see how it goes. And my question for this, oh, I want to show you. This is the back of the card, and the sides are all, it's gold leafed. Isn't that pretty? All right. Anyway, they are giant birds. Like I have decent sized women hands, and these babies are big. I cannot shuffle them other than, and even the even this is not easy. So anyway, they're big. Fair warning if you decide to buy them. All right. Let's see. So my question on this is I wanted to know about junior varsity and Usha. They are at the base of the reading is the sun. I suspect. Oh, okay. They're the base at the heart of the marriage. They understand each other. I almost feel like this was an arranged marriage. Hmm. All right, moving on. Crossed by the Three of Wands, and they they're in it for the long term. I'm not so certain that she's there for that, but we'll see. I haven't looked through the reading yet. At the base of this, at the base of their partnership is the Six of Wands. Let me bring that up closer, sorry. And this is, yeah, this is about visibility and how it looks to the outside. That's why I'm like, they understand up here, they understand each other and they have the intention of remaining together, but I feel like I very strongly feel like this is an arranged marriage, that they are, I think for him, it's a visibility. Okay. Um, and they want to be that sense of them being a couple is important. And yet I also distinctly recall him saying her kids and acting like he's not particularly connected to them, to the family as a unit, to that ideology. I don't understand it, but that's anyway. In the um in the past is the Seven of Wands, and this is somebody who is a fighter. They're scrappy and they fight, for what matters to them. But also there is the Hmm. I feel like that card should be in the reverse as opposed to upright. This is an unhealthy fighter. This is somebody who doesn't fight. When I shuffled, I didn't do because I did the none of my cards are in reverse because of that. So, but I feel like the reading for this should be in reverse. And that is there, he doesn't ever let his guard down. He doesn't ever, when he fights with her, he doesn't fight fair. And hmm, that ties back to the reading that I just did on him as the VP, that he doesn't like he's the kind of person who's gonna shank you at your most vulnerable. Overarching energy is the Eight of Wands, and I feel earlier when I said I felt like this was an arranged marriage. I feel like the Eight of Wands, they needed to do this for him to be able to have that in her because she was well, not her so much. She was a law clerk for some of the conservative SCOTUS judges. Um, but he needed that for that sense of propriety. His financial backer is Peter Thiel, Thiel or EIL. I'm not sure which way it goes for the E and the I. But anyway, his backing of junior varsity has the goal is for him to be in the presidential position, not the VP, the presidential. And I suspect that junior varsity is gay, and I suspect that that face of propriety is because there's concern that he wouldn't be voted in because of that. Um, Coming to bear is the King of Swords, and ma'am, I have a cat who's finding things on the table quite interesting. Mom, what is this new thing you brought home? Here again, I feel like this should be in reverse, and that is somebody who abuses authority. In the 0 to 3 month row, we have the Queen of Swords. This to me is Usha, and she is a woman with really high standards. She has expectations of him, and frankly, I don't know if he can live up to those. From the outside, the Prince of Cups is how their relationship is seen, and that is, that sense of they're in love and they're, the proverbial perfect couple. And the reality of that is the Ace of Wands, only this feels like it should be in reverse. And that is wah, wah, wah. Instead of the wand being upright, the wand is like being like wading into a cold swimming pool. That's how things are going for them. And the future, the 0 to 3 month futures universe. Um, wow. Lots of these are feeling like they should be in the reverse. This one is, they're just not, they're not, there's no connection between them. And I'm very much not surprised by that. Okay, so that is the 0 to 3 month row. Here's the 3 to 6 month row. One of the reasons why I love these cards is the diversity of the characters in them. Um, you know, some of these are pictures of like this appears to be a real person on the imagery. This is an AI. This is a graphic. I like the variety. Yeah. So, Queen of Cups at the top of the reading. Um, More upside down, which is not a happy camper. Wow. I suspect that there are some financial agreements that have been signed between her and Junior Varsity and Junior's financier. And that is, I very strongly sense lots of similarities between her and Melania in that regard. Like she's playing along because she has to, but to say that she is appalled is an understatement. Okay. Um, from the outside, they are seen. Oh, I'm so sorry. Last night was another one of those sleepless nights, and then I was really busy today. And I went out and I got to have coffee and I was out and I had some work from my full-time job to finish up today but I got out and pardon my yawn. Um, Anyhow, so from the outside, they appear. I've This is a card that's unique to this deck. It's called Art. Um, like they're walking that fine balance. They're It's like they have one foot in each other's world. and they don't care to put any more into it than that. Okay. This card, hmm, oh, look, it is the devil. And almost every reading I've ever seen about 45, the felon in the White House, this card tends to be in that reading. But what strikes me about this card, if you if you were, oh, what was the name of the television show? Raymond Reddington was the one of the primary characters, and this guy looks just like him. I totally believe that was intentional. Um, anyway, so in terms of Usha and Junior Varsity's relationship, at the base, what's driving this relationship is greed. And the outcome in the 3 to 6 month, this is the Phoenix rising. I don't believe it belongs in the upright position. And so I think that they are going to have a continuation of how it's been, one foot in each other's world and no more than that. They give only the minimum necessary to each other. And then in the 6 to 12 month, at the top of the reading, we have the Emperor. And this is somebody who, as a partner, they are somebody who's very protective, but but in this case, I don't see him as a protector. I see him as viewing this as strategy. This is all strategic for him. From the outside, the high priestess, there's a lot of hidden information happening here. You have the light and the dark, light and the dark. And yeah, I'm just going to go with a lot of hidden information. Their hopes and fears of the future is the Four of Wands, job security. That's their hope, is that they can keep carrying this on without being found out. And the future is the moon. I don't know. Oh, if this were in reverse, that means the lies would be exposed. But because I didn't put any of these in reverse as I was shuffling them. I mean, I feel like that should be a reverse, that the lies should be exposed. And yet, nope, that's a reverse. Lies exposed. It's all going to come out. Oh, right. Spirit guides are going, told you to tell them that earlier. Lots and lots of interesting conversations happening in my head with the spirit guides. All right, that was an interesting reading. This is my first time using these cards. I just opened them. I just got them yesterday, earlier this week, Thursday maybe. So we'll see. I'm not sure how I feel about them, if I love them or if I think I have to use them more. I need to get them accustomed to me. So, all right. And then I want to do one last reading, and I'm going to do this on Usha herself. Let me pause and set my cards out, and I'll be right back. Hey, I am using the Trish James Stardust Shadows deck, Tarot and Oracle. The beauty of this deck is that on one side it is Tarot, and on the other it is Oracle. So at the heart of this is the Ten of Wands. Usha is feeling very burdened by all of this. But what I found very interesting on the other side of this is that she's in disguise, that all things are not as they might seem. Crossed by deception, the moon. At the base of the reading is the Knight of Wands, and this is somebody who makes things happen. In the reverse, this is to me, this is somebody who makes things happen, but at what cost or in what manner? And on the backside of this is sinister and dark motives. And this is why I love this deck. I have three of Trish James decks, and every one of them are like this. They tell me so much. Energy passing away is Nine of Coins, and that is somebody's been paid off. On the backside is um, whatever has happened is going to be revealed. At the top, overarching energy is the Magician, meaning things have been made to happen that should not have occurred probably on their own. This card feels very much like junior varsity becoming the VP. He never would have been there if he hadn't been backed by Peter Thiel's money. He doesn't have the personality to get that far in politics. On the back side of this, the Oracle side, warning, dangerous situation. And I love this card because she has a snake as her familiar. Talk about transformations. Shedding of the old and growing of the new. Energy coming to bear is the Ten of Swords, which in the Smith Rider Waite deck, that is the person with all the swords in their back. And clearly it's an ending of some sort, a fatality of some sort, an ending of some sort, um, an ending of some sort. Um, and then for some reason, as I was setting out my 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 12 rows, this one felt like these two cards belonged together at the top of the reading, at the top of the column. And so these cards represent Usha herself. And one of them is the King of Coins. She is all about the impression of being wealthy. And so she's fine with being bought. She's fine with that financial arrangement. Others from the outside, Ten of Cups. So there are interesting connections. In this card shows two women who are no, they're not drinking from the same glass. They each have a glass, but cozy. I don't suspect that from Usha. No, I believe that junior varsity is, but Usha isn't. Um, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. All the alls in this video, allegedly. The hopes and fears of the future is the Four of Swords. some time to recover from, oh my gosh, what hot mess did I get myself into? But the future is a reckoning, and that is judgment. That's 0 to 3, 3 to 6 months at the top of the reading herself. I have the sun, which is exposure, truth comes out. Sorry. Others see her as the 7 of coins ongoing. And then on the back of this is somebody is in the spotlight. So whatever is happening for her, it is longer. In one sense, it is longer than she expected, and in another sense, it is exactly what she expected. But I think she's getting tired of it. Her hopes and fears of the future is the star, and that is that she gets her hopes, that she has the chance to recover. Um, and then her 3 to 6 month is celebration, 3 of Cups. And the 6 to 12 month is the at the top of the row. Herself is the King of Swords. She feels like she gets a lot of status from her relationship with Junior Varsity. And she tries to keep that in perspective, particularly on the days where she really despises who he is and what he's become. But she has her own desires and she hopes to see them. Unfortunately, the devil is the way her 6 to 12 month period ends. There are a lot of stories to tell and a lot of people who are going to talk about them, who are going to bring them to light. So, all right. So those are the readings that I have for this video. Sorry, it's gone a little long and I got a little chatty, maybe a little weird. Eh, you're here for a reason. That's why all my friends love me. Um, because I'm a little weird. And I'm okay with that. I'm unique. That's what it is. I'm unique. We're all our own individual selves. Don't try to be like anybody else because you're better off being you. And apparently, is my video. Oh my God. All right. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. Everything discussed is alleged and it is all for entertainment purposes only. We're entertaining new ideas, as Karen from Ask the Spirit Guides likes to say. And I'm quoting her and I'm giving her, credit for her original words. So, anyway, I do want to remind you that you are made of magic and stardust and that you are far more powerful than you realize and you are profoundly loved. Thank you again for watching. Hope you'll come back and see us again. Bye-bye now. Oh, and thanks for my, tolerating my weird sense of humor. Appreciate that too. All right. Bye now.